So Saturday night, we were actually putting the show together when she's reading her phone, and she says, "Oh, another assassination attempt on the president." This at the Correspondents' Dinner, and we're like, "What?" Turn on the TV, and we sit and watch, I don't know, for the next hour or more. We were mesmerized by the coverage.
It was crazy because it was live.
Because it was live, and the literal correspondents bringing you the news of what happened at the Correspondents' Dinner are in black tie because they were there ready to celebrate and have a nice night, and they're pressed into duty on the fly. And it was funny to me because I lived mostly on X, as in used to be Twitter, because that's where my bulk of my following is.
Yeah.
I think I have, I don't know what it is, 3.1 million
8
followers.
billion,
And so I'm checking the responses on there. I never read my
And
responses.
I live on no social media.
She lives on the, well, you kind of do on Instagram.
Well, I just post the show, but then
I know, but
occasionally I
you do
read the comments, but I don't do anything.
Wrong. Bad idea.
I don't do any social
But the
media.
point is that I quickly skim X for the react to this, and it's so polarizing because this man is so polarizing that it's split right down the middle. The Trump haters are saying this was staged, and the Trump believers are saying, "Go, Donald, go," because you're so courageous, which he talked about in the little impromptu press briefing that he did thereafter, which we waited for him to come back on and do. He's talking about how dangerous this job is. It is an extremely dangerous job, and he gave some stats that, you know, there are bullfighters and race car drivers that he's giving the numbers, and I can't remember. It's like
5%, 8%.
it's like 1% of 1%. There's Hazel.
Hazel's in the corner.
Welcome to the
Let me
show,
get
Hazel.
Hazel.
Hazel, what are you doing over there?
She likes to, because there's a lamp on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, continue. Continue.
She's going to be a problem. She's going into detention here pretty soon. She's
It's
going
okay.
into the
Anyway,
house.
The stats were that
the-
bullfighters and
that
race car drivers.
a much higher percent of presidents either get shot or shot at than bullfighters or race car drivers. True. It is a dangerous job. But now we've had multiple attempts on Donald Trump's life.
Three. This would be the third.
Yep, and the one in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's hard to imagine how it was staged because the, I don't even say alleged assassin, the shooter shot and 6 inches to the, right, and Donald Trump's no more, right? It would have splattered him all over the stage, but it did take off part of his ear. Okay, so now we're back to what exactly happened here. And I actually try to see both sides, so I say, could this have been staged? So that would mean you'd have to go find this guy in Torrance, California, out here in Southern California where we live, and you would have to, I don't know, pay him millions of dollars to give up the rest of his life to impersonate an assassin, right? And you'd have to have a lot of people in on it because this was the one part of it I told you that I still can't quite comprehend. So he's got a shotgun and a pistol.
And he had knives.
Knives, okay. But what are you gonna do with knives?
Well, you could throw them at somebody and
I guess.
kill them or stab somebody.
How
He had
close-
shotgun,
how close are you
pistol,
gonna
and
get?
knives. That's what they reported, so.
Okay, and he gets a running start, and he's 31 years of age, looked like he's in good shape, and so he gets a nice running start, and he runs through a security checkpoint, which at that point has calmed down because everybody's already inside. And there are, I don't know, 6 or 8 security people there at that checkpoint, and he blasts right through the middle of them, runs right through the metal detectors. And then we're not sure what happens because we haven't seen the rest of the video. Okay, the first thing I told you is, if you're armed and you end up shooting one of the security people in the chest, but he's got a vest on, help me out here. If you're wielding a shotgun and you're clearly heavily armed and you blast through the checkpoint and you shoot another police officer or security guard or whatever he was, how are you not dead right now? Wouldn't everybody shoot you?
I don't know.
Well, help me out
Can't,
here.
I don't know. They're not giving
Wouldn't
those details
everybody
of what
shoot
happened
you?
after he.
I mean, everybody would shoot him. And they did say, as he was indicted today or charged with this felony, obviously, that multiple shots were exchanged between him and the security people. And he wasn't even wounded?
I don't
Okay,
know.
I don't, this is just me, this is the way my mind works. I don't get that. Because you want to talk about a death wish.
Well, they killed the guy in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
well, Trump detailed
he said,
how
they got shot in the middle
their
of his head.
sniper, the
Right.
government sniper, found him quickly up on the top of the little, was it 2 or 3
Right.
story building, and drew a bead on him and had to go, Trump said, through part of a tree and hit him right in the forehead, moments after he fired the first couple of shots. Okay, so, but my point is, I don't get it. And it made me wonder, wait, was this staged? But they get him on the ground without a shirt on, and they said he was injured just by the physicality of it, but not by gunfire or weapons. And that's it.
Well, on CBS this morning,
You know?
they had a CIA expert,
Yeah.
you know, they had security experts on. Gail King asked, why did he have no shirt on? She said, I don't understand. And they
Well,
said
did they
that
pull his shirt
ever
off?
since 9/11, whenever there's somebody, they have to make sure they don't have a bomb on
Sure.
them.
No,
As a-
they ripped his shirt
Yeah.
off. Okay, I
just
got
to
it.
check for bomb purposes.
Mhm.
I don't know.
All right, that makes sense. I got that.
It's all so crazy.
But
I don't
then
know.
the weird part of it was, we wait, Donald Trump finally comes back out on stage, and he's in a really good mood. And I think you liked him more in that brief session than you've ever liked him, where
Well,
he
it
was
was just
actually,
off the cuff.
it was off the cuff, there was nothing staged, nothing written, and he's just responding, and he's obviously relieved that the situation was diffused, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the head of the night, he let her ask the first question, and she's gonna have to
Weijia
reorganize.
Chang, yeah.
And she's gonna have to do a second one within the month, he said. And he was actually pretty likable, I thought, in those moments. I thought he was just
Well,
different.
He was just coming off the cuff of,
He was
you know,
just
what
talking,
happened.
but
It
he
was
was
just like
in-
you're talking to your friend of what happened.
Yeah, and he was very patient with the questions.
Well, he was
Not
polite.
long. He's
For the
very
first time,
polite.
he was very
The first time
polite.
ever, he was polite. That's true.
To journalists.
It wasn't like it wasn't confrontational.
No.
It wasn't combative
And maybe
at
the
all.
only time he was ever going to be nice to journalists. Because
Maybe.
he's not nice to journalists.
No,
He wasn't
he's
nice to Nora O'Donnell last night when
He
when
did
she
have one
interviewed him.
funny line to her.
To Nora?
me, yes, where
don't
she was
remember
asking
that.
him about King, you know, these no kings
Uh-huh.
demonstrations.
Uh-huh.
And I'm paraphrasing slightly, but he said, I'm not a king. I don't want to be a king. If I were a king, he said, I wouldn't be talking to you. And that's true. If he were a king,
Well, he also said nasty stuff to her, like, you know, why would you?
You're a
I knew you'd be
despicable
asking me. I
person,
mean,
and
it's just so horrible. You can't say that.
okay, but she's reading these.
You can't kill
These
her for
allegations.
she's reading what was released. This was released from the White House, the manifesto. You know, I mean, why are you
manifesto,
gonna
But it's accusing
have a
him
rapist
or-
of being a rapist, a
rapist, a
pedophile,
pedophile,
whatever?
but
I mean,
accusing-
what do
it
you
was-
want
it
her
was
to do?
actually
She's
accusing
she's a
everybody in sort of the cabinet,
right, but
right?
she's doing her job. You can't say those things to her. It's horrible, but whatever.
That's how
Anyway,
that's how
There
he
you go.
rolls.
yes.
When has he not been that way?
That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
after this happened, he was so nice to the journalists. That's probably the only time because
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just
I
a
have
weird
no
vibe.
idea. It's just so
But he did
weird.
explain, as I've said before, the Iran war, declaring war on Iran. He said they were about to have a nuclear weapon, and he was saying, "What did you want me to do? Look
Yeah,
the
but
other
that
way?"
has nothing to do with what happened the other night.
Okay, I know, but he was just talking about
Well,
his
he's
policies.
just trying to come off as he's.
And then he
he's
took a
doing
lot of
really well.
criticism for saying this is why we needed to build a new
More bulletproof.
ballroom, right, in the White House.
Well,
and there
if
was
he didn't have that happen, then there would be no reason to build a new
he
ballroom.
said we need a safer, more
Right,
secure
so that
ballroom.
now
But then there was
justifies-
the allegation that he had given the contract out to a friend of his, you know.
Well,
like,
that's not a
so
surprise.
That's how life works, right?
Well, now this justifies having a ballroom.
Very weird night, but in a way, for one time I saw him in a different light, just for a few minutes, and then he went back to the Norah O'Donnell Trump,
Yeah.
where he's on the attack. And then he blasted Kimmel and said he should be fired again.
Right.
I wish he wouldn't stoop to do that, because he's better than that.
Well, she started it, the wife.
Oh, that's right, this was off.
She started it, so then
I know,
guess
but
she
it was
needed-
because
needed
he
to back
started
her.
it. I think Kimmel
Oh, well,
started it by making a joke about her.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's too crazy. I'm not a political person, so
No,
I don't
okay.
want to get into too much of this junk.